Hey guys, it's Tim, and this is Pro Wrestling Unlimited. So I want to apologize for issues we had earlier. I was all ready to go live, getting ready to get the show going, and my daughter tripped and fell on her broken arm. We thought maybe we'd have to take her to the doctor again, but she's fine. We've got her calmed down. Everything is good. We don't believe that there's any sort of a new break or whatnot, I guess you can say. So she's fine. All is good. We're going to go live here. I'm going to talk the show, but I'm not going to be taking calls afterwards just in case she needs me again because she is in some pain. So we'll recap the show. We will talk throughout the chat and whatnot. And if you guys have any questions, let me know in the chat, and we'll, in between matches, get some of your questions there. But unfortunately, not going to be taking calls afterwards just in case, my daughter needs me. But I did want to talk about this show with you guys because I really enjoyed most of it. So what I'm going to say basically is the tournament matches. I got a list of all the matches right here. And the tournament matches, 4 of the 5 I thought were great. Now the Bad Luck Follow Evil match, that's what you would have expected. But the other 4 matches in the tournament, as far as A block matches, really, really good matches. And the whole other half of the show, solid tag matches for the most part. So let's let a couple more of you guys jump in here if you guys are interested in listening to my recap of the G1 Climax 29 opener from Dallas, Texas. Luke Mike says Kota Ibushi should win G1. He deserves it. I can see that now since what am I saying? He's signed to the company. War Hero 99, my daughter is 6 years old. How could she be a wrestler? Oh, Gerald Alvarez says he was there live. So my question for you is, was the crowd, especially in the main event, as crazy as they sounded live on television? That's what I want to know. And then as far as attendance goes, as far as like seats that were not blocked off, it looked not like full, but it didn't look empty. Am I wrong to assume that? Just a couple questions I do have. But as we go forward, the show did kick off with a tag team match. It was the Iwgp Heavyweight Tag Team Champions, Tama Tonga Tangaloa, Gorillas of Destiny, taking on the team of Sho and Yo, Roppongi 3K. So very early on, Sho and Yo hit big dives on the onset. They quickly got cut off, though. Down Tonga and Tangaloa isolated Sho in their corner. They worked him over. Tangaloa and Tama Tonga delivered a slingshot senton. Sho came back with a spear to Tama Tonga and made a tag to Yo. Yo landed a dropkick to Tangaloa, with then a flying forearm to Tama Tonga. Yo hit a head and arm suplex into a bridge for a very close near fall. As the crowd got behind Roppongi 3K here, Yo blocked a stun gun attempt. Sho and Yo then hit stereo knees to both members of the Gorillas of Destiny. Tama Tonga popped up and hit a gun stun out of nowhere on Sho. Loa hit a powerbomb on Yo off the second rope. Tama Tonga covered him for the pin. Very good opening match. I like that they played off in this match too with the commentary, because they were like, Tama Tonga asked not to be in G1 this year. He said that he wanted to focus more on tag team wrestling. That's what Kevin Kelly said. And I liked what I can't think of his name all of a sudden. Rocky Romero came back with that. He goes, well, why didn't they ask Tangaloa if he wanted to be in the tournament? He's a heavyweight. He deserves a shot. And I was like, that's a good way to think about it. So in the next match, this was a preview for what we're going to see next week in the B block opener. Jeff Cobb and Ren Narita taking on Tomohiro Ishii and Shota Umino. Now, Jeff Cobb and Ishii will be battling in the B block, and these two wanted to just go at it tonight. Ishii and Cobb started off with an awesome Big Hoss battle. Ishii no-sold a dropkick, and Cobb no-sold a shoulder tackle. Umino and Narita tagged in and were very solid. Umino had the advantage early, but he then by dropping Narita with a back elbow. So Gerald says it was a good crowd and it was a good show. Awesome. Ishii tagged in. He teased a brainbuster, but Narita reversed into a suplex. Cobb got a tag and ran wild with suplexes on Umino and Ishii. Cobb hit a spinning backbreaker on Ishii for a near fall. Cobb and Ishii traded strikes, which got a nice reaction. Ishii ducked a forearm and landed a German suplex. Ishii tagged in Umino, who hit a missile dropkick. Umino went for a fisherman buster, but Cobb blocked it. Umino settled for a vertical suplex instead, earning a near fall. The match broke down. Ishii dropped Cobb with a forearm. Narita took out Ishii with a drop kick. Narita then hit a belly-to-belly on Umino. Cobb then hit the Tour of the Islands on Umino for the pinfall. After the match, Cobb and Ishii started to brawl. Like, as much as the referees and security and all that, whatever you want to call them, would allow. Narita and some security were there to pull them apart. Cobb ended up with a bloody nose. Great tease for next week's match. I can't wait to see these guys. When I knew that Cobb was going to be in this tournament, I was like, that Ishii match. It's going to be great. It's going to be amazing. Luke Might says, will you be doing a recap of Slammiversary? Maybe. Not sure on my schedule for tomorrow night, though. So I'm not sure if, I would be available after the show's over, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to watch it when it's live, is my issue. So next up, we got Hiroki Goto and Yoshihashi taking on Bullet Club's Jay White and Chase Owens. Owens and White used a distraction from Geto on the outside to score some early offense on Goto. Goto came back with a big right hand on Chase Owens. He then tagged in Yoshihashi. Yoshihashi hit a drop kick to Owens, but another Geto distraction allowed White to pull Yoshihashi to the floor. White sent Yoshihashi into the barricade and into the ring frame. Owens hit a backbreaker. Yoshihashi hit a headhunter on Owens. White got a tag and Yoshihashi nailed him with the headhunter as well. Goto tagged in and hit White with a hip toss, a clothesline, a Saito suplex. Owens then jumped in for an illegal double team, but Goto locked him into a single-legged Boston Crab. Goto went for a Ushigoroshi on White, but White turned it into a Saito suplex of his own. Owens tagged in. He hit Goto with a forearm. Goto no-sold it. Owens hit a knee strike, hit the jewel heist for a near fall. White then hit a brainbuster, and Owens hit a running knee. He covered, but Yoshihashi made the save. Owens went for a Packers pile driver, but Yoshihashi made the save again. Goto clotheslined. Goto clotheslined White to the floor. I had that written all wrong. And then he hit a Ushigoroshi on Owens. Goto hit the GTR, the Goto Revolution, on Owens for the pinfall. Jay White after the match played this off like he couldn't believe that they lost. He couldn't believe that they were unable to get the victory, and I liked his I guess you could say displeasure with not winning, if that's what you want to call it. We then a 6-man tag team match. Toru Yano, Juice Robinson, and Jushin Thunder Liger taking on LIJ's Tetsuya Naito, Shingo Takagi, and Bushi. So Juice is no longer the Juice we know and love. I'm just going to say that right now. Juice is usually the most charismatic, fun guy that you'll see in New Japan. Now, if you did not see the press conference from yesterday, everybody cut promos except for Juice. Juice is more of now a soft-spoken or not spoken at all. I'm just going to go out there and let my actions speak for my words type of guy now. And I don't know if I like that. So Bushi and Liger kicked off this match. Bushi raked his eyes. Liger tried a Romero special, but LIJ jumped in to triple team him. Shingo and Naito took out Juice and Yano on the floor. Bushi went for Liger's mask on the inside. Naito got the tag, and he also tried to go for the mask a little bit before using a sleeper on Liger. Shingo Takagi tagged in. He continued to work on Liger until Liger cut him off with a shote. Juice got a tag. Shingo and Juice exchanged strikes. Shingo avoided a juice box. Juice avoided a sliding lariat, and then hit a full Nelson bomb for a 2. Juice then hit a series of jabs. Shingo then hit a big left hand. They traded lariats, and Juice hit the left hand of God. Shingo countered with a Noshigami into a double down. Yano and Naito tagged in. Naito untied the corner pad, and I can't remember exactly what Rocky called it. I think he called it Larry. He goes, "That's Larry!" And Kevin Kelly was like, "Oh, so now we got names for each individual turnbuckle pad?" So Naito untied the corner pad, exposing the turnbuckle. Naito hit the combination carbon. Yano used a schoolboy for a near fall. They traded hair pulls. Naito hit a neck breaker and then tagged in Bushi. LIJ went 3-on-1 against Yano here for a minute. Naito and Bushi hit double drop kicks. Bushi went for a cover, but Juice and Liger made the save. While Liger, Naito, Shingo, and Juice brawled on the floor, Yano hit a low blow on Bushi, then used a schoolboy for the victory. Kata was super into seeing Juice and Thunder Liger, as it could be one of the last times, if not the last time, you see him in... I'm going to say it right now. It's the last time you see him in Dallas, Texas. But probably won't be the last time we see him in America, as they did announce tonight that in late September, they will be doing an East Coast tour. Boston, New York, and Philly. I can't remember exactly, I don't have it written down here, what the arena is in Boston. But in New York, they'll be at Hammerstein. And then in Philly, they'll be at the 2300 Arena. So after the match, they all celebrated. Juice then raised Liger's hand in celebration, and they played Liger's music. So then we started A block competition, and this first match was great. Archer has a new look. He's still got long hair, but he's shaved the sides completely. So it's like one long strip in the middle, slicked back, and 3/4 of it is red. Kind of like a Ruby Riott, Bull Nakano type haircut, I guess. So Archer charged Ospreay before the bell. Ospreay cut him off, though, and hit a standing Spanish fly. Quick. Like, this was... You got to go see it if you didn't. So Archer, Ospreay. Oh, no. So he hits the Spanish fly, follows it up with a corkscrew dive off the post to the floor, and then hits a springboard 450 for a near fall. Ospreay sent Archer to the outside with a springboard dropkick. He went for a Sasuke special, but Archer caught him. He then chokeslammed him over the barricade and through a table. They really made Lance Archer look great in this match. He looked like a big, giant, I'm going to just kill anybody I go up against monster, and I loved it. So back inside the ring, Archer hit a series of hard chops. He did a rope walk spot around like two sides of the ring, I think more maybe. He then used a chin lock on Ospreay, and Ospreay was bleeding from the nose here. Ospreay came back with a handspring kick. He hit a top rope 619 and then a pip cheerio and got a 2 count. Ospreay avoided a pounce and then hit a high kick. Archer got the pounce on his second attempt though and hit a buckle bomb. Archer then hit a last ride. Ospreay rolled to the outside though. Archer hit a powerbomb on the apron. Archer went for another powerbomb on the ramp, but Ospreay reversed it into a code red, and this was the perfect time for them to bring up that Ospreay really wants to fight Amazing Red soon. I don't know if they'll bring him into New Japan or not to allow the match to happen, or if Ospreay will have to do that match outside of New Japan. The move though, the code red, was a little wonky because Ospreay tries to do the match or the move like you're supposed to, and it was almost like Archer didn't want to do it, so there's a hesitation kind of where you can almost see Ospreay moving, Archer not moving, and then finally Ospreay's momentum just pulls him over. They teased a double count out here. Both men barely made it in 19. Ospreay then hit a shooting star press on Archer, landed right on his face, and got a near fall. Archer blocked an Os Cutter. Os Cutter's supposed to be his big move. He's got that in the Stormbreaker. And I think, I think using, Archer blocking that move and, not making it a finish Almost makes it seem like, well, now that's not going to be a big, strong move later in the tournament. But he does use the Stormbreaker more as like a super finisher, so that should be okay. Ospreay did actually end up hitting an Os Cutter. An Archer kicked out of 2. Ospreay teased a Stormbreaker and a Hidden Blade. The thing here at this point in the match was that, Ospreay may not be big enough to hit the Stormbreaker on Lance Archer because Lance Archer is so much bigger than him, and we did see later on in the match where that did play into effect. So Archer blocked both attempts. Archer hit a Muscle Buster, but Ospreay kicked out of 2. Archer hit the Blackout, and again Ospreay kicked out. Archer used the EBD Claw, but Ospreay reached the ropes. They climbed to the top rope, and Archer went to the top for a choke slam, but Ospreay turned the choke slam to a Spanish Fly off the top. Loved this move. Archer went over easy as pie this time. I got a 2 count. Ospreay got Archer with the Stormbreaker this time, but Archer slipped out. So what he did is, so if you don't know what the Stormbreaker is, he picks him up kind of like for the Angel's Wings, or I guess you could, yeah, it's kind of like the Angel's Wings, but then he lifts him up back, so he lifts him up onto his shoulder. Kind of like Big E's finisher, where Big E's got him up there and then Big E usually drops with him, but he's upside down, so he's back on shoulder. And what the Stormbreaker is Ospreay then flips you around and hits you in like a cutter type move. Well, when he went to throw Lance Archer, and this was done greatly, when he went to throw Lance Archer, because Archer's so tall and Ospreay's a lot shorter, Archer's landed on his feet. And I liked the way that worked. Archer went for a chokeslam, but Ospreay had a series of kicks to get out of it. Ospreay then went for a super Os Cutter off the top rope, but Archer cut him off. Archer then hit a running knee with Ospreay seated on the top turnbuckle, on the top rope. Archer then hit a super Blackout off the top. He went for the EBD Claw and used it to drive Ospreay to the mat. With the claw applied, he held Ospreay down and pinned him 1, 2, 3. And I like that new version of the claw. It's not just like, okay, we got the claw here. You're going to use the claw. You're just going to squeeze his head until he either passes out or something. But he actually used it to turn it into a pin, which I'd never seen before, and I really liked that. Really good match. Great way to open up this tournament. First match of the G1 Climax. And then we go into Bad Luck Fale and Evil. Not a bad match, but it was what you would expect from Bad Luck Fale and Evil. And Evil's really good. So Evil went after Fale before the bell even rang. They brawled on the floor, and Fale hit a slam on the ramp. Back inside, Fale used stomps to the abdomen. He hit a series of forearms to the back, then some more to the head. Fale made a cocky cover with 1 foot, only got a 2 count. Evil came back with a slam. Then he chokeslammed Fale to the floor. Evil grabbed a chair, but Fale cut him off. Fale grabbed the chair, but Evil blocked a chair shot. He placed a chair around Fale's neck and sent him headfirst into the post. Evil then hit a senton into the corner for a 2 count. Evil hit a lariat, but Fale didn't go down. Evil hit a second one, dropping Fale to a knee. He then went for a third, but Fale cut him off with a shoulder tackle. Fale hit a big splash for a 2. Fale brought a chair into the ring, but Evil kicked it away. He hit a lariat for a near fall. Fale then went for the bad luck fall, but Evil slid out. Evil hit a lariat to Fale, but also took out the ref. Evil then grabbed one of the chairs and went to swing it, but Fale hit a low blow. Fale then put a chair around Evil's neck and then hit that chair and the head of Evil with another chair. Ref finally revived himself. Fale hit the bad luck fall. There you go. Pinned him. Fale picks up 2 points. So then we had Sonata versus Zack Sabre Jr., and I really liked this match as well. This was a great technical wrestling match. We see technical wrestling out of Sonata here and there, but I loved what he did with Zack Sabre Jr. They had a crazy exchange very early, trading near falls. Well, actually, not even really, because they would trade backslides and backslides and crucifixes and schoolboy attempts, and just great little series here. Followed up with a series of more rolling exchanges. Sonata went for a paradise lock, but Saber spilled out. Sonata rolled to the floor to regroup himself. They exchanged holds here. Saber hit an uppercut, the first strike of the match actually, about 2-3 minutes in, because there were just holds, which, hey, not going to complain. They did the technical wrestling in this match great. Saber's probably the best technical wrestler in the world, and Sonata hung. Sonata hit a drop kick, and Saber rolled to the floor. Sonata teased a dive, but Saber stepped away. Sonata held the ropes for Saber to get back into the ring, but Saber just strolled around. He was stalling. Back inside the ring, Saber caught Sonata in an armbar. Sonata quickly reached the ropes. Sonata hit the ropes, but Saber caught him in a Cobra twist. Excuse me. Sonata escaped and then hit a leapfrog drop kick. He teased following up with the plancha, but Saber rolled to the outside. No, Saber rolled back inside, my bad. Sonata then applied the paradise lock with the bottom rope. If you remember last year, we saw him do this to Yano, but he did it with the barricade. So this is a cool little new variation. Broke the hold, though, by drop kicking Saber out of it. He then hit a plancha. Back inside, Sonata hit a back suplex for a 2. Sonata went for a TKO, but Saber turned it into an octopus hold. Saber slipped the octopus hold into a crucifix hold onto the mat, but Sonata forced a rope break. Sonata managed to apply the skull end, but Saber broke the hold, hit a DDT, and then applied his own variation of the skull end. Sonata powered out, tried a TKO, but Saber slipped to a hanging guillotine choke. Sonata popped out and hit a neck breaker. Sonata then hit a TKO for a near fall. He went for a moonsault, but landed on the knees of Saber. Saber rolled out of the ring. Well, rolled out of the way. I don't think he got out of the ring at this point. Sonata tried a backslide, and Saber escaped with the PK. Saber went for the Zack driver. Sonata turned it into a skull end, went to the top for a moonsault, but Saber got his knees up. Then slapped on a triangle choke. Sonata powered out and hit a moonsault into the skull end. Saber rolled into a European clutch for a near fall. Sonata reversed the clutch into one of his own and got the pin. So Sonata actually defeats Zack Sabre Jr. here. Very styles clashing kind of match, but at the same time, Sonata was really well with his technical wrestling, and I was surprised by that. Last few minutes of the match were really, really good. I mean, what do you say? Sonata's trying something new. Some people didn't like this match because of that, but I thought it was good. So then a match that's really got people on both sides of it. A lot of people like this match, and a lot of people didn't like this match. It was Kenta against Kota Ibushi. Dueling chants early on for both men. They locked up, but nothing came out of it. Kenta hit a short kick. They locked up again. So Kevin Kelly's on commentary talking about how the last 5 years of Kenta's career did not go the way that he would want. He basically said that it didn't go well. He was injured a lot. And then he goes on to state, over these last 5 years, he never stated WWE specifically, but he goes, over the last 5 years, Kenta was not allowed to wrestle the way he wanted to, was not allowed to be himself, was not allowed to wrestle at the level that he was used to when he was once in Japan. And he just kept going and going and going throughout this match, making it seem like the last 5 years of Kenta's career is the worst 5 years of any wrestler's career ever. He just hammered on about how Kenta just was no good when he was in WWE, and that being in WWE was no good for him. And yeah, his time in WWE wasn't good. He got injured a couple times, and then he was put on 205 Live, and they really didn't do much with him because they thought he was injury prone. But the way Kevin Kelly was just shitting on WWE was really surprising. So Ibushi backed Kenta into the ropes. Kenta backed Ibushi into the ropes. Kenta did not break cleanly and landed a hard slap on the break. Ibushi responded with a hard slap of his own. Kenta wore a sleeve on his left arm, and Ibushi began targeting the arm. Kenta draped Ibushi over the middle rope and then hit a knee drop off the second rope. Kenta hit a series of mid kicks, and Ibushi sold them big. Kenta covered, only got a near fall, and then went for a chin lock. Kenta hit a knee lift, then a PK. Kenta hit a couple of knee drops to the back of the head. Ibushi fired up here. Hit a series of short elbows to the neck. Kenta fired back and hit some short elbows of his own. Then hit another series of big kicks. Went for the cover, but Ibushi kicked out of one. Kenta went back to the chin lock. Ibushi elbowed out. Then hit a drop kick. Ibushi then hit a power slam. Second rope moonsault for a near fall. Kenta hit a big lariat leg drop. Kenta hit a series of bump and feed clotheslines. And then an exploder suplex. Kenta went to the top and hit a clothesline for a 2 count. He went for a tornado DDT, but Ibushi cut him off with a number of strikes and dropped him on the apron. Ibushi teased a deadlift German from the apron, but Kenta blocked it. Ibushi sent Kenta to the floor with a backdrop kick. Ibushi tried a pescado, but Kenta caught him with a knee on landing. Looked as though Ibushi jammed his ankle on the floor. He was fine for most of the match, like going forward, but it just looked a little rough. Kenta jumped Ibushi over the barricade and hit a double stomp. Ibushi's head hit the barricade on impact. Again, Ibushi taking some punishment recently. Back inside the ring, Kenta hit a springboard dropkick, a Yakuza kick, and then a delayed dropkick into the corner. Kenta hit a double stomp off the top rope for a near fall. Kenta teased the GTS, but Ibushi got to the top rope where, he's in the GTS spot. He grabs the top rope to block it and gets out of it. Ibushi then slips out, hits a hard clothesline, and Ibushi hits a last ride for a near fall. Ibushi went for the Kamigoye, but Kenta reversed it into a GTS, kind of. He didn't actually hit it, though. Ibushi slid out. Kenta then hit a jumping knee strike. They exchanged strikes and knees here for a little bit. They got to their feet. Continued to trade. Kenta hit a high kick for a near fall. Ibushi was on his knees here, and Kenta hit 4 head kicks. Went to make the cover. Ibushi kicked out of 2. Kenta was over it by now, and he pulls down the knee pad. And we all know what's coming when you pull down that knee pad. So he pulls down the knee pad, lifts up Kota Ibushi, hits the go to sleep. Not the best go to sleep, but gets the victory. So he hits the go to sleep. Kevin Kelly's like, oh, the go to sleep, the knee right to the face. And then they play a replay. You don't, nowhere near the face. So then they play the replay in slow-mo. And they play it, and you hear Rocky Romero go, ooh, knee right to the face. But the knee was more in like the armpit of Kota Ibushi. The one bad thing about Kenta doing the go to sleep is that a lot of these guys that he's going to be facing in this tournament are taller than him. So unless they know how to take that move from a shorter guy like Kenta to where they more have to like slip down on descent, it's going to be chest and shoulder hits a lot, but the commentary is still going to call it as to the face. So I don't know exactly what's going to happen there. But I think we're going to get more of this knee to the arm, knee to the chest, knee to the shoulder thing. But either way, great match. I liked it. A lot of people online thought that it could have been better, which, I mean, any match could be better. But I think for Kenta's first match in New Japan, after not wrestling in New Japan for 17 years, it was good. Kenta helped Ibushi to his feet after the match. They shook hands and they embraced each other. Then we went to our main event. It was Iwgp Heavyweight Champion Kazuchika Okada taking on Hiroshi Tanahashi. Now these two, they've met up multiple times in their careers. But this is the first time there was ever an Okada-Tanahashi match outside of Japan. Not just first time in America, first time outside of Japan. Both men get down to the ring and the crowd's chanting New Japan, New Japan, New Japan. Then before the match even starts, now I'm never a proponent of this, but it made sense here. The two men are just eyeing each other. and the crowd's chanting, "This is awesome." Now, usually I'm against "This is awesome" chants before anything happens, but this was fine because it was a "This is awesome" chant because it was awesome that this match was taking place in America. That's how I felt it. So they lock up. Okada teased breaking cleanly onto the ropes, but Tanahashi slapped him. They teased a few of their signature moves. Okada went for a Rainmaker. Tanahashi went for a Sling Blade. They used a headlock Tanahashi used a headlock takeover, and Okada used a head scissors to escape. Tanahashi hit a senton and then played the air guitar. Tanahashi went to the second rope for a senton, but Okada hit a drop kick. Tanahashi spilled to the floor. Okada hit a DDT on the floor after the 5-minute mark. Back inside the ring, Okada hit a drop kick to a seated Okada. Or Tanahashi. I wrote that wrong. Tanahashi found himself backed into a corner here. Okada hit a back elbow, then a dragon screw. He hit a neck breaker for a near fall, then used a chin lock. Tanahashi got sent into the ropes but bounced off and hit a dragon screw of his own. Tanahashi then hit a flying forearm, running drop kick right into the corner. Followed it up with a somersault senton from the second rope for a near fall at the 10-minute mark. Okada then hit a back elbow in one corner, sent Tanahashi to the opposite corner and hit another back elbow, and then connected with a DDT for a 2. Tanahashi blocked an air raid crash, stepped to the apron, and then hit a dragon screw over the ropes. Okada caught Tanahashi coming in. He landed a flapjack. Tanahashi hit a drop kick to the knee, but Okada countered with the air raid crash for a near fall. Okada then hit a slam and went to the top rope. He landed an elbow off the top and then hit the Rainmaker pose. Tanahashi pulled him right out of the pose into a cradle for a 2. He then hit an inverted dragon screw. Tanahashi then used the cloverleaf, but Okada forced the rope break. Right around the 15-minute mark, Tanahashi hit another inverted dragon screw, and Okada rolled to the floor. While Okada was standing on the floor, Tanahashi hit a high fly flow. One of the best just crossbodies off the ropes you'll ever see. Back inside the ring, Tanahashi hit a twist and shout. Okada countered with a shotgun drop kick. Tanahashi hit the sling blade, and Okada countered with the drop kick. Okada teased a tombstone, but Tanahashi hit another sling blade. Tanahashi hit a standing high fly flow, and Okada went down, and then he hit another high fly flow, but Okada got his knees up this time. They tried some tombstone attempts on each other, back and forth. Both were blocked. Tanahashi went for a sling blade, but Okada caught him with a backslide instead. Pulled him up and hit a Rainmaker. He kept wrist control and hit another Rainmaker. He went for a third, but Tanahashi pulled him into a small package for a very close near fall. Tanahashi hit a dragon suplex into a bridge for a close near fall. Tanahashi blocked a Rainmaker attempt and grabbed Okada's wrist. He went for a series of slaps to the face, maintaining wrist control, and hit the ropes. He ran into a spinning tombstone from Okada. Okada hit a third Rainmaker and pinned Tanahashi to pick up the victory. They did state that this was the first time that either man has picked up a 2-point victory over the other in the G1. So I take it all their other matches either double count out, which you get no points, or a time limit draw. I didn't know that. Kata got a promo afterwards stating that he loved being here in Dallas. He wants to return to Dallas as the winner of the G1 and still IWGP Heavyweight Champion. He said this will not be the last time you see him or New Japan in Dallas, so maybe they return next year for the same event. We don't know. We'll see. But as far as New Japan in the States go, like I said, in late September, I think it's the last weekend of September, we'll be doing shows in Boston, New York, and Philadelphia. So that was night 1 of the G1 Climax 29. What we're going to be doing here for recaps of the G1 is this was the A block. Next week, they will be doing the first round of the B block. So we won't be doing like a full review of that show, but we will be doing a recap of the block matches to give you updated, what's the word I'm looking for? Updated numbers, updated point standings. And then from there on, I think I'm going to go, depending on how many shows they do a week, after every 4 shows, so it should give 2 A block shows and 2 B block shows, then we'll do another update. Maybe I'll do after every 2 shows. I'm not sure yet. But we'll do, we're not going to do like point updates after every show, but we'll do like I'll go after every 2 or so. We'll go after every A and F. So A block will have a show, B block will have a show. Then we'll give you a video updating all the points. A block will have a show, B block will have a show, update you on the points. So we'll keep you guys as updated as possible on the points. We'll do a better job than we did last year. I think last year I just did it once a week. But we'll keep you guys updated on who's ranked where in this year's G1 Climax tournament and who's likely to be going to the finals and winning their block. So with that, I want to say thank you to everybody who did join me here for this show, talking G1 Climax 29 opener in Dallas, Texas. Just looking at a couple of the questions here in the live chat before we do wrap it up. Chris McNutt says, how's California? California's fine. I didn't feel the earthquake on Thursday. I felt the one yesterday. And it was fine. My lamp I have here in my living room shook a little bit, and then my daughter's water bottle, like the water, like in those dinosaur movies, Jurassic Park stuff, when you see the dinosaur come and stomp, 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 you see like the water kind of like poof, poof. It was that. It lasted about 60 seconds. It was nothing bad. Everybody's fine. I haven't heard of any casualties or anything from the earthquakes. No real damage outside of the city where the earthquake did take place at Ridgecrest, but other than that, everybody's fine, and I hope that everybody continues to be fine as more earthquakes are possible. So as my daughter goes, Kristen, thank you for the concern. She's going to be okay. She tripped and fell earlier today, landed right on the broken arm, but we have figured that it's not, like there's no re-break or anything. So we just got her comfy. She's in the other room watching a movie, and I'm about to go check on her here in a second. So she should be fine, though. As far as seeing me live again next, maybe after in the Impact show tomorrow night. Not sure if I'm going to be able to watch it live, so I really wouldn't be able to go live talking about it at a reasonable time. So if we're not live tomorrow, we'll see you after Raw this coming Monday. Thank you guys, and have a great night.